All right, we're going to review what we've been working on with factoring. I want us to start off with this. Let's see. All right, look at this one. If I were you, I would write this, yes, to be able to have. All I'm going to ask you to do is factor out, the directions are going to be factor out the GCF. Now, and I want you to write what's left. So this is what we were doing the very first day. So let's review how to find the GCF. What I want you to do is you look at these coefficients, and I look and see I find the smallest one. Does 2 go into 32? Does 2 go into 126, sorry. Yes, it goes in evenly is what I'm asking. So since that's true, my 2 is my GCF. Now, is there a letter in common in all three terms? No, so it's just going to be a number I take out. So I'm going to pull out the 2 and write what's left, meaning that I divide everything by 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. I get x squared. 32 divided by 2 is 16. So minus 16x. 126 divided by 2 is, what is that, 63. Now, there may be, right now, you may be able to factor this in the parentheses a little bit farther by doing slide and divide, but right now I'm not going to do that. I'm just asking you to pull out the GCF. Okay, so let's look at another one. So all the instructions is factor out the GCF. So here's the next problem. All right, when you're looking for the GCF, first let's look through the numbers. My coefficients, those numbers. 3 is my smallest. I always start with 3. Does 3 go into 18? What is 18 divided by 3? 6. Oops. Write that right. What about 24 divided by 3? 8. Oh, cool. So my GCF is 3. Now, there's also something else. What else is in common in all of them? M's are in all of them. What's the smallest exponent? A 3. So the GCF is m to the third. 3m to the third. So what I'm going to do is pull out the GCF, and I need to write what's left. So that means I divide each term by the GCF. So first, 3 divided by 3 is 1. Okay, I pulled out 3 m's. How many m's do I need in the first term? No, how many? Right here in the black. What is it? How many do I need? I need 4 of them. So if I pulled out 3, I need 1 more. 18 divided by 3. 6. I need 3 m's. I pulled 3 m's out. Do I need any more? No, they go away. That's easy. They're already pulled out. So now I have 24 divided by 3, which is 8. I need 7 m's. I pulled out 3 of them. So how many more do I need? 4. So it's m to the 4th. Let's try this one. Let's see. 12k to the third plus 9k. So we are going to factor out our GCF. Now what I've been doing is going to my coefficient, go to that smallest one, 9. Does 9 go into 12 evenly? No. But what other number goes into 9? A 3. Does 3 go into 12? Yeah. So my GCF is going to be 3. Now, is there a letter in common in both of them? A K. What's the smallest exponent? A 1. There's not an exponent, it's just a 1, okay? So now we're going to pull out the GCF, 3K, and we need to write what's left. So that means we're dividing everything by 3K. All right. 12 divided by 3 is 4. I need 3Ks. I pulled one of them out. How many more do I need? 2. So it's K to the squared, K to the second power. 9 divided by 3 is 3. I need 1K. I already pulled it out. That's my final answer. All right, well, that's all handy dandy or whatever. We did that in the very beginning in the first day. Next, we had to figure out slide and divide. So let's start with this one. X squared minus 16x plus 63. Does anybody remember what was step 1? Pull out the GCF. Is there a GCF? Is there a number in front of that x squared? No, other than a 1, yeah, but no. So there's no GCF to pull out. 2, slide. When we go to slide, though, the number in front of the x squared is what we slide. If it's a 1, we don't even have to do that. Whoop, whoop, makes it easier. Because now I get to go straight to factoring. So that means I'm going to split this up. And x squared splits up as x and x. I need the factors of 63. Let's remember we can go in the calculator and go to y equals 63 divided by x. Second graph. All right, these are all the numbers that multiply together to give me 63. But what do I need them to add up to be? The middle number, guys. You always want it to add up together to be the middle numbers, which is negative 16. Oh, wrong button. Try again. All right, so the first one here, 1 and 63, that's not it. 21 and 3, that's 24. Well, golly gee, let's keep looking. What about 7 and 9? What's 7 plus 9? Okay. 7 and 9 is 16, but I need a what? Negative, so it's going to be negative 7 and negative 9, because when you add that together, it's negative 16. So now I'm going to have minus 7 and minus 9. Now, step 4 was to divide, but the only reason you divide is if you slide. Did we slide? Nope. So this is my final answer. You guys need to, on your quizzes and tests, check your answers by putting the original problem into Y1. I'm talking about all that. And the whole thing in parentheses in Y2. And press second graph and make sure you got it right. Okay, let's try this one. Ready? 2x squared plus 17x plus 21. Try this now. Here we go. Step 1. Step 1 is GCF. Look at my smallest number, 2. Does 2 go into 17 evenly? No. So next I need to slide. You take this first number and slide it to the back, which means you multiply. All right, so now I have x squared plus 17x. Now, 2 times 21 is 42. All right, so now we need to factor. You're going to split it up. So step 3 was to factor. I have x and x. Now, what are the factors of 42? When you put them in the calculator, you should have found, what did y'all find? Shouldn't it have been 14 and 3? 14 times 3 gives you 42. When you add them together, that gives you 17. So I have plus 14 plus 3. Now, people are telling me that that's the final answer. No, it's not, because after you slide, you must divide. So I divide by 2. Now, what is 14 divided by 2? 7. So I have x plus 7. And then does 3 divided by 2, does that work out evenly? Nope. So I put a 2 in front of there. So I have 2x plus 3. There's the answer.